What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to focus on drawing triangles. So in previous units we've actually done this before. However, this one's a little trickier, and I actually think this one's a little more fun because it gives you a few clues and you have to figure out what the other angles and sides are with regards to these triangles. Now, these questions usually only have two different variants. So one would be it gives you one side and two angles, and the other is it gives you two sides and one angle. I'm going to give you my amazing and easy to use tips to draw these triangles. So the first tip is always draw a horizontal line. So if you notice, in each question they always give us the length of one of the angles. So what I'd like you to always do is draw a horizontal line, and always start with that. Rule number one. The next thing is they always give you at least one angle. So if they give you one angle and only one angle, well, just choose one of the sides of the lines, measure that angle, and draw that angle. If they give you two angles in the clues, so you have one side, one length, and two angles, you don't even have to measure the lengths of the lines that you're drawing on the angles. I'll show you what I mean. Let's say you're given a side and two angles. Well, you're only going to have to measure the angle from the left and then pick a different angle and measure it on the right side of the line. Those two lines will eventually come together and form a triangle. So all you'd have to actually do is measure the horizontal line and draw one of the angles on the left side, draw one of the angles on the right side, and those two angles will join together and you're going to have everything done in the triangle. I'll give you an example. Let's say we had three clues. One side is 9 centimeters and two angles are 50 degrees. So all we're going to do is take our ruler out and measure 9 centimeters. And it gives us two clues of 50 degrees and 50 degrees. So on the left side, we're going to measure the angle 50 degrees. So take your protractor out and put your protractor on the left side of the line. Mark 50 degrees with a dot, and then take your ruler and just draw a line connecting the side to the dot. And it can be as long as you want. We can erase the extras after, the extra line that's thereafter. Then we're going to do the exact same thing on the right. So take your protractor and move it to the right side of the line. Put a dot on 50 degrees, okay? Then take your ruler and draw a line connecting the right side of the line to the dot. And eventually, those two lines will crisscross, and that's going to be where your triangle is complete. Now, once you have your triangle drawn, then you can take your ruler and measure the remaining two sides that they didn't give you and the third angle. If you remember from previous videos, we don't actually have to measure the third angle if they give us two angles. Why is that? I don't get it. Well, all angles add up to 180 degrees. So if you have one angle that's 50, another angle that's 50, that totals 100 degrees. So the last angle will be 80 degrees. 50 plus 50 plus 80 is 180. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is drawing a triangle that gives you two sides and one angle. Well, the rule doesn't change for the start. So first things first, draw a horizontal line. So since it's giving you two sides, pick one of those sides, measure it, and draw a horizontal line. All right, now we're just going to follow the clues. So it gives us, we have one more side to draw and one more angle. Well, how could you just draw another side attached to that first line that you drew if you didn't know the angle? So use the clues. Hey, I have one angle. So same thing. It doesn't matter where the angle goes. You could draw it on the left side of the line or the right side. It really doesn't matter. So pick one of the sides. We'll just say we're going to draw it on the right side. So the angle, let's just say, is 50 degrees again. So if it's 50 degrees, mark 50 degrees and draw a line. However, this time the line can't just go forever, because in the last sequence we had two angles and we could just connect those two angles. Well, this time you don't. So you have to measure this line. So we're going to extend the line to 50 degrees. And now you're going to make that line the length of the second side that it gave you. So we've got our first side down there. We've got our angle, but now this line has to be a specific length. So draw it exactly to that length. Now you've got one line and two lines, and the lines are perfect. The angle's perfect. All you have to do now is connect the dots. Okay? So just take the one point from that line and connect it to the other point of that line. And then you are done drawing your triangle. Now the last thing is you have to measure the remaining two angles, and you have to measure the remaining one side. This time you'll actually have to use your protractor and measure the last two angles because we're only given one. Confused? No worries. We're going to do a few examples and show you exactly what to do again and break down these two different types of questions. The main thing is just follow the clues and start with a horizontal line on the base. First question I'm going to give you has one side and two angles. So what do we do with these? So what do we do with these clues? One side and two angles? That's right. Draw the baseline, just the one line, measure it perfectly, and then draw the one angle and draw the other angle, and we're going to connect everything. So 4 centimeters, 120 degrees, and 30 degrees. All right? So now what is left is just writing in what the remaining two sides were and what the angle is. So I'm going to put those up here in 3 seconds. So pause the video if you want to see if you got it right or wrong, and pause. Okay, the two remaining sides were 4 centimeters and 6.9 centimeters. And the last remaining angle was 30 degrees. So hopefully you guys got that right. If not, obviously just go back and watch that part over again and check and see what your mistakes might have been. Okay, I'm going to give you an example of the opposite scenario, okay? Okay, I'm going to give you a different scenario. We're going to go two sides and one angle. So the two sides will be 5.2 centimeters and 2.8 centimeters. So write that down. And the angle will be 37 degrees. So we're going to start off the exact same way that I've been talking about. Draw a horizontal line at the bottom. Pick one of the sides. We have two different angles. I'm going to choose the 5.2 centimeters. All right, so draw 5.2 centimeter horizontal line. All right, we have two more clues. One is an angle, one is a side. We obviously can't draw the side without the angle. So let's draw our angle, and the angle is 37 degrees. So put a dot where 37 degrees is and connect the line to that dot. Okay, now the third clue is 2.8 centimeters. So obviously that line that we just drew, guess how long it has to be? 2.8 centimeters. So I'm assuming your line is far longer than 2.8 centimeters. So now you're just going to want to mark and measure 2.8 centimeters. Now that you've got your two lines and your one angle, you are officially pretty much done. So all you got to do is connect the dots on this one, okay? So take the one point, take the other point, take your ruler and draw a line connecting that. Now you have two other angles that are unknown and one other side that is unknown. So I want you to measure those, and I'm going to tell you what the answers are, so pause the video. All right, the angle of the one side should be 3.4 centimeters. One of the angles should be 113 degrees, and the last angle should be 30 degrees. All right, so that is how you draw triangles. The main thing, once again, is follow the clues that they give you and just take advantage of those clues and do these things one step at a time. Always start with a horizontal line, and everything else should just kind of take care of itself. As always, keep commenting down below and let me know how you guys are doing. It's been awesome hearing. I know Grayson and Mateus and Dawson, it's been awesome hearing from you guys, and I appreciate all the comments and feedback that everybody has been giving. So we will talk to you guys later. Good luck.